but it doesn't. And the big question is why. No one has the answer, but it feels like this team has always been, no matter what roster it is, a very emotional team, G-Clef. So losing that first game can often tilt them into chaos. So we are headed to Dragonshire. Was banned in our first series, but will be our first map here.
And Miracle choosing the map here in L5 will take the first man, first pick. Even though they lost 3 straight, I don't think that means that they're a weak team, especially when we had Dami on the key player. His Dehaka and Sonya especially was basically carrying the team from falling apart, and I think he will do the same. He's not the problem. If the entire team comes along with Dami, with the rotational work a little more, if they go around the map, be a little safer when they make those rotations, because oftentimes the opponents were trying to get those picks when they were rotating around. So if Miracles if they had some practice, if they know their mistakes, if they do not do the same, make the same mistakes tonight, I think they have an okay chance against L5.
So let's see if they want to take that same approach, as you were saying, go towards the early Dehaka pick, or if they want to try to support choke like we saw Raven attempt to do and fail versus Mighty. Those are the only styles we've seen so far in this new patch. Will be already the Oriole ban coming from L5 still with the nerf to the level 7, or the removal, I should say, of the level 7 talent. They're still not interested in playing against an Oriole comp. So this starts to feel like, as I said, we might see mirror comps from last week, and so far it's looking that way. Tassadar our first pick. Wow, this could be last week's meta. Did someone forget to flip the patch switch?
Well, let's see. We are indeed on the new patch, on the balanced one. Tassadar, for the flex pick, L5 is already handling this pretty well. With Genji banned on the other side, Miracle now they will choose. Vala is available, but with Ariel gone, Tassadar gone, very low chance right now. So how do you want to start this draft? Maybe
the old way, yeah, the old way is Uther Greymane, right? That's the way we would have seen it last week. But we would also sometimes see the denial pick on Vala in a situation like this. With Ariel already banned though, and the nerfs to Uther's healing, I don't think you want to grab the Vala. I think you probably just want to Uther Greymane to be safe. If you're grabbing Garrosh, you're expecting something deeper. Dehaka is the wild card. And they will go for the Vala. Risky choice. We'll grab it with Rhaegar. So going down that support choke path that we saw Raven going down in the previous series.
And also, I think they're thinking about the camp controls. Just like we saw from Raven, I think this Vala can be just Q Vala along with Rhaegar, just controlling over the ramp, over the camp controls. And having the 3 rest with solid tanks and DPS like Greymane, as you mentioned, can complete an okay balanced comp. So but what is L5 thinking here?
That's a good question. The cool thing about Vala is, and the Rhaegar, is you just destroy the bot lane. You have strong sustain, you have good wave clear, you have very fast camp timings, like you were talking about, to grab those siege giants. And so L5 needs to have some way to respond to that right now, and it looks like Lunara is going to be the way. ETC as well makes it difficult to push hard in the bot lane with Vala, because ETC is constantly threatening you. So no Ariel with the Lunara, and L5 was so reluctant to run the Lunara back in the Eastern Clash. It was only the Vala we saw from them with the Trinity, and kind of a weird, in terms of Korean meta, shift here.
I think this ETC pick is not just for their own rotation for possibly stage dive later on. It's also to threat Dami's Illidan coming out later on. That could also be somewhat powerful when they dive in, because they also have Rhaegar. So having ETC as a defensive tool with those power slide with soft counter to against all the Illidan on the other side. So L5 with that third pick, I think they locked in and said there's no way that you're gonna pick Illidan. Maybe you just have to ban it, because if not, we'll take it. Say thanks.
Strong possibility. They'll go for the Sonya instead for similar reasons. And now I wonder if L5 will ban the Illidan. I don't think that's necessarily required, but if you do leave the Illidan open, it opens up an opportunity for Miracle to take Tyrael Illidan, and that's very strong, obviously, with the Vala as well. What L5 really wants, now that they have this sort of answer to the bot lane and they have a strong ETC to disrupt it, is a strong solo laner to kind of win out the lanes. So the question is really, what is that going to be? I think that's why the Sonya is banning for Miracle. Miracle is able to identify that very quickly as, okay, solo laners are what L5's next approach is going to be. And Malthael is still available, right? That's one thing that we could definitely see. Chen is also still available. Could be quite strong against the Vala comp.
Or if they want to go in for the team fight, they can also bring Dehaka top lane, and having ETC just rotating up and down, along with another support to just finish it up. I think this one also, we may actually see another Stukov coming in. The silence when you have the Dragon Knight really works well against the Siege on the other side. So let's follow a little more along with what MVP Miracle, how they respond to this. Because Judy's favorite used to be Stitches map. With that gone, I think he's been...
There's also a really good ETC as well in the past. Not that I was necessarily going to pick it here. Arthas is a possibility, but feels kind of weak against Lunara in terms of the poke. It will struggle in the bottom lane. I don't know if Miracle really has a plan here. It's such a rare case to face off against Lunara ETC from L5 of all teams. They're going to take Malthael for their solo laner. This limits, again, the solo laners that L5 can grab with this now. And now, basically, no matter what L5 picks, they will lose the solo lane. So that even though Miracle is going to struggle a little bit against the ETC in the bot lane, they have Muradin who can help against that, and they have Malthael, so that at least the top lane is going to be in their favor. I'm looking for rotations.
Let's see. It's not easy, but you win lane with Zagara sometimes. And
are you thinking we're going to see Zagara here?
Not today. I'm just throwing that out there. We've seen a lot more back in China, but not these days, either in China also. I would love to see Zagara coming out.
Let's see. You think L5's going to run the Zagara?
Possibly.
Okay, I mean, I should clarify the question. Say, like, you think if one of them will run it, it'll be L5. I don't think we're going to see it.
No. Yep.
Leoric, Uther, Leoric, so strong. Luther, Lugara. Lugaru. Anyone ever play that game? It's a pretty weird game. I liked it a lot, though. Leoric, Uther will be the follow-up. So Lunara, Uther, Tastar is something that you saw a lot from the Western teams, especially Fnatic, and it kind of dominated the Western Clash. So this style of protecting Lunara and just kind of having this insanely strong frontline with ETC. Uther also pretty strong frontliner. Leoric, good mobility, is going to be the name of the game. Leoric versus Malthael will be kind of an interesting one. We've seen that matchup go both ways. Just really depends on the hope drains, how well they hit.
Well, I guess it makes sense. No one can escape death, but he's dead already, so...
Sure.
I guess that's the only one. Leoric will have a hard time for sure.
All right, what's it going to be here? Abathur for the final pick. What a strange final pick. It's going to be... The thing is, if you're looking for Muradin ganks with Abathur in the early game, you have to lose lane in order to do that. Malthael will do pretty decent against Leoric, so it's not like he's going to be struggling up there to allow for those gank potentials. Can help you get a lot of extra control and a lot of extra soak for experience. There are definitely big reasons why Abathur is strong right now on this map, and we've seen him picked several times here this season already. Before we talk further about it, let's go into game number 1, guys. Dragonshire for L5 versus MVP Miracle. Blue side is L5. Hooligan on ETC SC. On Lunara, Chunga on Leoric SDE on Tastar, and Swoi on Uther.
In red, MVP Miracle. Judy on Muradin, Dami on Marteo, Jaehyun on Rehgar, Crazy Moving on Vala, and Sniper on Avatar.
Okay, that Locust got destroyed. First blood.
Burst damage.
So let's see where this all works out for the top lane, because we could. So part of the reason why they might use the Abathur here for early game is if we have the lane swap where it's Tassadar and Leoric in top lane, which happens sometimes. It happens a lot against Malthael. You have to send a second laner up there, which is exactly what they're going to do. Then look at Uther right now on the minimap. When Dami gets cornered, that's when he goes for the gank attempt. When it's a solo laner up there, when someone else is rotating down, they have a swap, and the Uther with Muradin. I think I said Uther twice, so mistake. The Muradin with the symbiote will be very, very strong in those moments when the lane is pushed like that. Vision control of those moves are very important. It's a strategy that's as old as time against solo laners on this map.
Thing is the range. Lunara versus Vala. Lunara wins the range, so oftentimes you can get to quicker damage, more damage coming out, burst damage also.
Yeah, I mean, it's the pick that they needed to win the bot lane, like we were talking about. It's so strong here. It's dominating for them now. They even get the channel off. Mid lane will be somewhat pressured here now, as Hooligans trying to come over just to make sure they soak the wave. This should give enough opportunities in just a moment for Dami to retake the top shrine. In fact, is actually kind of baiting this right now. We'll try to take the trade here against Jungha. Drain Hope should connect 100% here, though, regardless. But look at this. They get the Unleash. No one was here to contest. And Dami thought, okay, I got this, guys. I will be able to take the shrine away, but it's not the case. So a very fast Dragon Knight here now for L5.
Miracle has lots of melee, so that's a big problem when L5. I think looking at L5, EDC can harass and just slide out. Tassadar can do storms. Uther also has beam. Leoric can go in and die. Lunara can do range damage. Compare that to Miracle. And Vala is going to that Q build. Other than those Qs, there are not many tools for them to harass, actually, to cancel all those channeling. That will be a big problem coming in when they have to stop those Dragon Lights, as you can see here.
That's true. They don't really have that much range. You know, Malthael would have been the best one, but obviously he was trying to take it in the top lane and failed to do so. We do have to mention, you and I were talking about this earlier today, that the Dragon Knight has been buffed a few patches ago.
It was just not mentioned in the patch notes.
It wasn't mentioned in the patch notes, but they did add it. But anyways, the Dragon Knight does more damage, and the fire burns more, so it is basically, it's faster scaling. It does do a lot more, so in the past, a 2-minute Dragon Knight would have never been able to do what this one did. But even still, in this patch now, it's a great lead for L5. Normally, it'd be like, okay, 2-minute Dragon Knight, not the end of the world. But in this case, it could spell the end of the world if things continue to go as we've seen so far. But the Royal Focus build here for Leoric again with the block at level 1. Very popular right now, actually. See if that continues to be the go-to. A lot of debate about that right now. Okay, so this bot push is pretty incredible. And MVP Miracle is going to have their own Siege Giants and will finally push it away. Some decent damage done. Because of the Abathur pick, the experience lead is actually not that high for L5. Remember, they have a nice structural lead. No one is dealing with the Malthael in the top lane either, so Tassadar is struggling. Leoric is finally heading up there right now. This could be a potential pick, as they don't see Leoric heading up there. Baiting him right now. Dami is in trouble. Yeah, this might actually be a kill. Needs the slow. Already used it. Will you get another one? Gonna go for the chase. There's the slow.
Shield, but the storm kicks in. Last damage, and that's the first kill going to L5.
Just no vision awareness of where Leoric was on the map. And that is going to cost you big time when you're pushing that hard. Trying to make up for the bot lane. Remember, this was always the struggle for Miracle, is they needed the strong top laner. And when they had it, when they made this happen, they were the ones who got ganked. We talked about how maybe with the Tassadar Leoric together, it would be the gank attempts onto those heroes when the lane was pushed. The opposite occurs now.
I think Dami was a little pressured actually to push all in because they were not really achieving too much in the bot lane, saying, okay, if the bot is not really working too well, then I have to push the top at least because we're getting so far back pushed, especially since the first Dragon Knight going to L5. Of course, that costed him big, really neglecting the possible damage coming out from Tastar and Leoric. It seems like they have no damage, but you just saw they have the gank potentials against Martio.
Okay, they're going to take an advantage here. Oh, maybe not though. They get caught. They get called out for it. This was a smart move, knowing they had vision control and they knew that there were two top.
Thanks for
but
the
they got caught. Yeah, thanks for the leash. Got the free camp here now, and nearly a kill on the Crazy Moon, which furthers how well this lane is going to go now for L5. Level 10 is just around the corner as well. By around the corner, I mean they've got it pretty much right now. Hooligan in good position to deny Judy that power slide. They're just going to get another Unleash. And that's going to be 2 for 2 Dragon Knights. One at 2 minutes, one at 6.
And the second one maybe doing 2 forts at the same time. And Miracle should be looking for 10, but I don't think it's going to come in anytime soon. L5 will actually get 11 first.
The big question is, where does Abathur fit into all of this? He hasn't really been able to do a whole lot. He kept the experience even early on, but he wasn't able to help protect against the Dragon Knights. He's one less body on the map before 10, before they have to clone. And he didn't do anything to stave off the lost bot lane, the losing mid lane, and didn't help in the ganks that were killing Dami in the top lane. One almost killed him, the second one did kill him. So the Abathur pick, I feel like, doesn't fit in here. At least it hasn't proven itself yet. Now post 10 it will be a lot easier, but it's just been a rough time. Now this top lane is even being soaked now.
Well, let's see how well the clone turns things around. Which target it chooses to clone actually that well.
It's been mostly Rhaegar throughout the new meta. I think you could make an argument for cloning the Muradin as well in this composition. But I'm guessing it's going to be the Rhaegar for extra heals, extra damage. Rhaegar has a lot of burst with his Wolf Bite, while also being able to provide extra healing to make sure Vala can carry the fights. It is Q build Vala.
And Hooligan locks in Mosh Pit instead of Stage Dive. Because they've been winning the rotational work when Miracle should have been winning with the Q Vala kicking in with Rhaegar too. L5 stole that camp on the bottom too. And Mosh Pit, there are not too many CCs on the other side to actually cancel that Mosh Pit too.
Yeah, Rain and Stormbolt basically are the only ones. And you don't really need the global effect when you already have a strong, pretty mobile top laner in Leoric, so just going to do Leoric things up here for a second while this is out of cannon tower ammo.
Literally Leoric things.
Yeah.
What he's doing. The thing is that Leoric can have a free time because SC has a range, SC Sway, just keeping them safe with the double support. The Vala of Crazy Moving has not been doing too much work because SC with that range has been just out-soaking the damage.
They wanted to actually set up a gank. Leoric was coming down, and because look at how quickly he can teleport back to the top lane with his Wraith Walk. It's so fast. So he just gets right back up there. Such a short cooldown. Royal Focus, and like, I mean, now he's got another one. Here's an Entomb. Dami is in trouble. Can he get out of here? Might be able to use his Tormented Souls. He will use it to try to survive, but he is going to die regardless. And look at that. Get a camp. Going to get a fort. This game is snowballing away from Miracle very quickly.
Too quickly, I would say.
Rapidly.
It's painful.
At a quick pace, it snowballs away. It's not even cold yet, but there's still snowballs. It's snowballing away. It's only September, G-Clef. This game is snowballing.
Seems like it's snowballing here. Way too quick, man.
It's a really steep hill, too, that snowball's rolling down. There's no bumps on it.
They're
it's rolling quick.
The Moon Shrine, but right after, they are going to get the Dragon Knight for sure. The rotations right now for a Miracle, they look lost. They do not know what to do. They're just catching the macro, and when this Dragon Knight comes, that may be both keep walls down.
Well, we saw Jungha try to be fancy there and get the Entomb. Will still get his cooldown reset and just go right back to the Dragon Knight. 15 to 12. And at this pace, Miracle is just struggling. They have decent poke here with Vala to try to stave this off, especially with the Q build against the Dragon Knight. Solo target it down. Everyone's pushing in deep here to try to get that level 16. We're just on the edge of it now for them. Nearly getting the double talent tier advantage. 13 is about to be hit for Miracle. There it is.
Keep your eyes on Vala versus Lunara damage. How much Lunara can do and how much Vala can do. It's gonna clone Vala actually. There's a good cleanse.
Kind of a rare Vala clone here. Normally see this in Korea.
Just for the siege damage, I guess, because the Dragon Knight has been kicking in.
Looks like Jungha is going to be de-knighted here. We'll have Entomb the second he pops out. Look at how much damage, as you say, SC can do. Slows coming in as well. We get another Dragon Knight Q. There it is. Pops out. There's the Entomb, just as we said, right after the expiration. Crazy moving is going to get healed.
Nicely done by Miracle. They can turn this around. There's a Tormented Souls, but he is stunned and he's going down.
Okay, he is down. Mosh Pit is real here as well. It's going to be the Mosh Pit kill onto Crazy Moving Judy. Now isolated away. Hooligan gets very low here, but Jaehyun can just not finish him off. SC wants more. They're just going to actually start sieging this up, looking for more damage. The Sentry Cannon Tower is out of ammo. It's just the keep that is under fire here. It's being tanked by Hooligan. And that looks like it will be the first keep of the game going down here at 11 minutes. Could be one of our faster Dragon Knight games here, as it just looks like it has fallen away from Miracle. And, I mean, Lunara is just doing incredible damage. Never touched. There's no backline threat for Miracle.
Yep.
Do they have a Genji? No. They have a mobile hero that can get in the backline? No. Their best bet is a Muradin who could dive in and then get burned down by Leoric, who then will be stunned by an ETC, has no escapes. Perhaps that was the idea behind the Abathur pick, was to empower Muradin, but it just has not happened. And I feel like there were so many other choices of heroes over the Abathur they could have taken.
I think the best choice could have been Tyrael, along with Martial and Vala, just diving in because they need burst damage or some damage diving in to get Lunara. That was the kill that they need. SC, he's not even contested, so he doesn't even take leave because there is no way that damage is going to kill him unless he overextends hard, which he has not been doing at all in this game, and this game has been snowbally, as you can tell.
All right, trying to get down this wall here is MVP Miracle to get experience back. They fail to get either cannon towers. Look at the damage. Look at that split spear.
There's no threat.
Yeah, no one's afraid. Meanwhile, literally, Leoric doing Leoric things, as we were joking about earlier. Just prepping those cannon.
My Ancestral just
got the kill on the Abathur. Will he die for it? I think he will, right? They're going to kill him. Is he going to die?
I think he has walk available very soon.
Oh, he's stunned. Go, Divine Shield!
Onto Leoric. That's when
that
you know.
Actually will probably get them a perfect game, G-Clef. Jungha very, very, very low still. Is getting burst healed. He's getting those heals.
And Dami dies. And
he wants the chase.
Going in. This may be a perfect game, as you said.
What a crazy save. Divine Shield was so good. Got the kill onto Abathur. Was backdooring there. They won the fight 4v5. Abathur gained nothing this game. I suppose you could argue that Jungha didn't get any trait value this game either. 0 deaths.
Yeah, that's right.
They didn't get a single structure, not even the wall, and that is going to be game over. 7 kills to 0. Our first perfect game of the night and of the week here goes to L5.
Not just the kill score. That game
they didn't kill
was
any structures.
Literally perfect game. Perfect rotations. Miracle could not do a thing against what L5 did. And wow. Just wow from L5. They're strong, man. And Miracle, not that Miracle's weak, I gotta say, compared to L5, they look disastrous right now.
Sure.